Hi, it's CRAY. I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Literally like a couple days ago just announced that the EP is done. Yeah. October 15th is the release for the EP. So talk to me about like what you went through in order to create this new EP.
Well, it was written half last year and half this year. I was in a relationship last year and was writing about that, and then the relationship ended and I wrote about that. So it's basically just a journey of the end of a relationship and my growth through it. And it's basically just an EP, like a therapy EP for me, basically. Like, it's like my diary. It's very real, real moments that happened to me, moments I felt. That's why I put dates on my my artwork. I put dates on the songs so people could see the timeline of how the songs are written.
Cool. Okay.
'Cause it's like a story. To me, it is. So, yeah, it's a very emotional EP. It's a piece of my heart, and I'm really excited to get it out there.
Now I know like some artists kind of struggle with writing when they're happy, and then some struggle writing when they're sad. So like, where do you struggle when it comes to writing music?
I mean, I think everyone can struggle with that. It's like whatever I'm feeling at the moment is what I'm going to write about, and that's why I think this EP is so dark. Is because for last year and half of this year it was dark for me, so it's kind of hard to get out of that rut. But it created beautiful art, and so now I'm out of that, and I've been writing so much new music that is completely opposite. So it's like kind of like just like starting the new tides every time. I'm always going to write about how I'm feeling at the moment. It's really hard for me to not write emotionally what I'm going through. But I think that's real and that's authentic. That's just how I'm going to do it. Yeah.
So you mentioned like this is a more darker kind of sound for you. But when we listen to the lead single, I Don't Want to Talk About Love, it still gives me this kind of happy kind of vibe. How do you do that? How do you talk about such a dark subject, but yet like the song sonically sounds just so much fun?
I don't know. Because that song, I wasn't particularly going through a hard time during that song. I was more going through the hard time of adjusting to a relationship and having people be so invested in my relationship. And I kind of felt like I had other things to offer. I was like, I have art in my stuff. Like, why is only people want is content of my relationship? And I was kind of feeling like not upset about it, but kind of like, hey, the individual is so much more important than who they're dating. And so like, I kind of wanted to write that not in a mad way, but in a way that I felt like I'm in love right now and I'm happy to be in love and I'm excited people are excited, but I also want to show that side of like there's other things than love. There's other things. Like, also social media does show the perfect side of a relationship. You know, like no one really knows what went down other than me, you know? So it's like I wanted to make that's exactly how I felt. So I wasn't sad, I wasn't pissed, but I did want to show the other side that like there's people are individuals and the celebrity like culture of Instagram and stuff isn't as real as people think it is. Yeah.
Now, one thing that I like about you is that reading back like old stuff, like I've heard you mention a couple times that you kind of grew up with like jazz kind of music. So how did you go from growing up with jazz to like making or creating this kind of music that you do today?
I mean, when I was in high school, I had a ton of learning disabilities, and back then they were just like, let's medicate her and let's also give her an iPod and let's just like let her listen to music while she works. And so my dad was like, well, I'm not going to get you an iPod because it's like really bougie back then, you know, like you're not getting an iPod, you're 12. So he gave me his iPad to take to school. And so I mean, his iPod. So I took it, like the first gen, and I just like shuffled it. And all of it was literally either jazz, like David Bowie, the Beatles, or like Groove Armada, like that house, like really cool, groovy shit from back in the day. So like that's kind of what I was just forced to listen to and then forced to love, and it's like my home is there. So like when I first got into music, I was very electronic and I was doing more like rap stuff. I kind of got this point where I was like, I'm not fulfilled. Like I feel like I need to use real instruments, I need to learn, and I need to like use more of like my roots to come into my music. And so that's why I was like, I want to start singing, play guitar, piano. I want to start composing big records, and that's kind of where I switched to now, and that's what I'm doing live.
So since you're doing more live instrumentation now, can we expect also a live band with you when you're about to hit the road?
Yes, the 16th is my first live show ever in LA. I know, I'm playing guitar, piano, and I have two bandmates who are awesome. And we've been practicing for this for so long, and I'm so excited to get it out there. I love DJing, and I'll always DJ, but like I definitely want to be live. That's like not DJ live, like there's no CDJs on stage, it's truly just live, a live act. So yeah.
So, you know, how different was it this time around going into the studio to create this EP? Like now that there is this whole band kind of vibe going on, like, so did it really change much, or was it kind of similar to you as you know, opposed to your previous stuff?
It's definitely different because I feel like indie pop records are more time for me to think about it. Like when I used to put out EDM, like I used to just make a beat and be like, this is it. I love it.
Yeah.
And, you know, now I have to focus on vocals and my vocals sound right, or the lyrics sound well, or are they catchy enough? Does it work? Is it telling a story? Does it make sense? Does the guitar make sense here? Like it's a lot more pieces. And that's why I have such incredible people around me to help and teach me and to help make these records exactly what I want them to be. But yeah, it's definitely harder because it's just I'm learning more. Like I'm learning how to play guitar and piano. It's a whole nother hurdle, right? So it's just a lot of work, but so much gratitude. Like I'm so thankful for learning that and feel really fulfilled.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, as you're creating these songs, how many tracks are on the EP for starters? And, you know, what was it about these tracks that you said, okay, this is what the EP is going to be all about?
Yeah, there's 7 tracks, including I Don't Want to Talk About Love. And you know, like I have a lot of songs. I wrote a lot of songs last year, a lot of songs this year, but these 7 were the ones that really connected together. I wrote them, and all very similar themes. And I feel like for me, it kind of just told a story of what I was going through as a person and like falling out of love and falling in love with myself again. And just like, it's about growth, and there's some angry bits in there, but there's also some tender, sad moments. And I really wanted to show the whole spectrum of what I was going through compared to just angry music or like just really happy. Like I wanted to really show the EP for what it is, and like every song, I couldn't see it coming out alone. Like they have to come out together. Like I told to my team, I'm like, they cannot come out. I literally put I Don't Want to Talk About Love out, and that's it, because I wanted it all to come out as a body of work. And each song has similar instruments and bells, and there's certain sounds that are actually in each song that are in all the songs. To kind of put it together, and you know, I'm just very excited to get it. It's like gonna close a chapter in my life, but also open a new one. It's like a really cathartic thing for me too.
Yeah. And how challenging is it for you to kind of do that, to close the chapter, but at the same time start to open a new one?
Yeah, I mean, it's really emotional, especially because the world's watching, or some of the world. You know, it's like being vulnerable and going through a breakup and changing and growing, and you know, on the internet is hard because every move you make could be ridiculed or made fun of.
That's true.
So but it's really also rewarding when you have those people hit me up and be like, I've been through this, I feel you, like this really helped me, or like I really needed to listen to this song, it's really got me through something. So that's what makes it worth it at the end of the day. It makes it real, and it's like I'm okay with being vulnerable as long as it helps someone. That's all. Like my whole goal is just to like make sure you don't feel like you're alone, like you're going through these things, and so did I. And if I can go through it, so can you.
Right.
You know.
So did you jump into the studio with a specific producer? Did you have multiple producers on this? Did you stick to just you doing this as far as the production goes?
No, I actually had multiple producers with this, because this has been a year and almost 2 years of writing. So like I've been going through like trying to find my team to doing it myself, and then being like, I need help, you know. So I've been like a few awesome producers, Nadiri specifically really helped me through this, and mix and mastered God, legend. But yeah, it's like almost like a collaborative work with. I wrote everything, like every lyric was from my brain and my diary basically. And production-wise, the chords are mine and the chords are there, and I have, you know, I'm in there like picking each sound. I just needed, like, I'm used to writing like rap beats. Like when I came in to write like a pop record, it just wasn't enough. You know, it just wasn't. And so I'm learning every day, and I feel like this year has been such a big growth for me, production-wise, singing-wise, lyrically, has been so big for me to learn and just understand what a full record takes a lot. It takes a lot. And so I'm really thankful to be able to learn from the really amazing people and collaborate and make some really amazing records.
As you kind of transition from doing like these kind of rap beats, do you feel like you had to learn how to sing for this EP?
Yes. I mean, like I'm still learning how to sing. My voice is not amazing, but it's real and it's authentic, and that's what I offer. But yeah, I mean, I think the hardest hurdle for me singing wise is just the mental vulnerability of it. Like it's so vulnerable to sing. When I can make beats or DJ, I'm behind the decks, and I can kind of hide singing. You're opening your mouth and you're singing, and people can judge you immediately, and it's like a piece of your heart. So like that's probably the biggest hurdle. Even doing this live show, like I couldn't even sing with my band practice in their bedroom. Like I was too nervous. Like I was just like, oh my God, what if I sound bad? And they're like, you're crazy. It's just like a mental thing, you know. It's a lot, but like it's been really awesome. I feel like I've gained a lot of confidence, and I've learned a lot about. I just don't give a shit anymore. You know, like if you think I sound bad, like that's it. You know, this is what it's gonna be. So.
I feel like that was also like a challenge in the studio when you hit the vocal booth. Like, how did you kind of make it happen?
I literally had an awesome vocal engineer who helped me through it. Was like, you're doing great, keep going. You know, because I was like, am I okay? And he's like, you got this, keep going. Yeah, just practice, honestly, and just realizing like, hey, at the end of the day, even the biggest legends in the world take a couple takes.
Right.
So I can too.
Right.
You know, no one's perfect. So I just sitting there and like really trying to hone in and just just be excited for myself and not let the judgment of the world like taint my singing. You know,
Right.
I'm trying to like just do it real.
Now you got the opportunity to open up for artists like Skrillex, and you also did, other festivals that are huge festivals as far as like the crowds go. So did those kind of events or performances kind of impact this new EP in any way? Like whether, like the way you think about like how the audience is going to listen to the music?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I kind of switched to live because I was like, you know what, my EP, I can't really DJ. I can DJ like one or two of the songs, but I can't play the whole EP through on a DJ set. So I was like, what am I gonna do? So, but I've wanted to do live since the day one. So I've wanted to always be indie pop, and opening for Sonny and Anna Leno and like those are the legends. And I've learned like that's how I learned how to DJ, be confident, and to learn how to be an artist and learn how to. If these guys are doing it and they want me here, I'm clearly doing it right. And then at Lollapalooza, my first time I ever sang live and almost barfed. It was great. Of course, there was technical problems, obviously, but it was such a big hurdle for me to be like, okay, like if I can do this at Lolla in front of this many people, I can do it live. I can do it. It's a different ball game. DJing and live, it's a totally different ball game. No one's harder or better than the other. It's just a different ball game.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you kind of got me a little excited right now because you said Sonny instead of Skrillex. So does that mean you are a From First to Last fan, like before Skrillex even happened?
I wasn't, but he's a friend of mine, and he lives really close by, so we get coffee often.
Nice.
And I feel like it'd be really weird to call a friend by the artist name.
Right.
And I feel like it's weird when people introduce me as the artist name too. I'm like, I'm Cheney. Like I would never be like, I'm Cray. Like I feel like that's so bizarre. So I'm just calling him that by nature. Right. Not that I'm trying to be like, oh, his name is Sonny. Like I'm not trying to do that. It's just by second nature.
Right. It's just interesting because I think this is probably the first time that I've actually heard the name Sonny outside of like the band. Right. So it really I got a little excited. I'm sorry. I grew up with that.
Great.
So
the band's great. Honestly, I just wasn't a day one fan.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I'm not gonna do that.
You gotta be real. So EP drops on the 15th. What's the name of the EP?
Seasons change and so do I.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yes, I did. I've named that that's been in my diary for my EP or an album name for so long. My manager was like, finally, we're doing it. Because I feel like this EP is a lot. Like I went through every season with this EP. Every song has been written in every season, and so I felt like I was changing through each song, and the timeline's really important to me. So I was like, you know what, this makes sense for me. And also, I love earth and nature. It's like all my tattoos, all my art concept is like that. It's all like handmade flowers and stuff. Too, yeah, I mean, you see my place. There's tons of flowers, if you can see, but I just wanted to make it something about earth and nature and really good energy and something that is changing, but not in a bad way. Like seasons change, but it's not in a bad way. Right. Sometimes people think change is so scary or like, oh, a breakup changed me. It's not like that at all. It's like just as the seasons change, so does humans. And I feel like we all grow, and that's what it's about.
That's awesome. Now, to close this off, for those that are not familiar, you mentioned earlier you had disabilities growing up, but I feel like music alone is just a challenge, whether you do it for fun or whether you try to pursue it as a career. So what is it about the music industry that really called your attention to the point that like you'll do whatever it takes to make this your career?
I just have a lot to say. I think the most important thing for me is I have a lot of life experience. I have a lot of things I've gone through that I want to share with the world to help people. I always want to help people. I can't fix you tattooed on me. It's a song lyric that I wrote the other day. It's because I always want to fix people and I always want to help people. So my main, honestly, I love the culture of music. Of course, it saved my life, but also I want to help others because I know music saved mine. I want to be able to save others and help people. That's the main goal. I don't give a shit about partying or any of that fame. If I could wear a mask, I would. It's just about helping people and relating to people. I'm just like you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for hanging out. You guys be sure to check out CRAY. EP drops October 15th. Thanks for watching here on Front Row Live.